When death comes, it won't rise from the ground, wielding a scythe or cloaked in black. It will arrive quietly, foreign and unassuming, with jade green eyes and chestnut brown hair. Death won't even realize what it carries, but step by step, it will summon the apocalypse. A lost beast, an angel with broken wings, a blackened sky over a jeweled night, the fall of a king in a storm, and finally, a fire so pure and vengeful, it will cleanse the earth. Once the fire begins, it cannot be stopped, unless you take its jade eyes and end its vision. This prophecy has haunted me my entire life. The first warning. I was 11 when I first heard it. A fortune teller whispered it to me in an old arcade by the sea. Her face wasn't human. It was more like stitched leather, her glowing eyeless sockets staring into me. Her lips, pulled open by strange hooks, didn't move when the words poured out in a voice I'll never forget. A few weeks later, the first letter came. The prophecy, written in red ink, with no explanation. I thought it was a cruel prank, but the reminders didn't stop. More letters came, and then the whispers started. In crowded places, I'd hear faint voices reciting the words in my ears. No matter where I turned, no one was there. When I was 15, the phone calls began. A robotic voice would recite the prophecy over and over. It didn't matter if I interrupted or hung up. It would call back relentlessly until I answered. One time, I left the phone off the hook for hours. But when I picked it up, the voice was still there, repeating those words like a machine that couldn't be silenced. The reminders grew louder, more frequent. Letters weekly, whispers daily, phone calls endlessly. And still, nothing ever happened. I began to question if it was even a prophecy, or just some sick game meant to destroy my sanity. The stranger on the screen. Years later, when I thought I'd adapted to the torment, the prophecy came to life in a way I couldn't ignore. I was watching a sitcom, my safe escape from reality, when a new character appeared. An exchange student with chestnut hair and piercing green eyes. The cast hated her, their hostility so out of place it was unsettling. The episode's events mirrored the prophecy perfectly. A bus crash, a dead bird, a blackout under fireworks. The next day, graffiti of a green-eyed figure, surrounded by flames, appeared on my way to school. The prophecy followed me everywhere, in fortune cookies, commercials, even in my dying grandmother's last whispered words. I tried to move on. I left for the coast, got married, and built a new life. For a while, the reminders stopped. But I realize now, they only stopped because I returned to the place where it all began. Death next door. Now Eerie, a green-eyed, brown-haired man, has moved in next door. My wife Lucy waved at him from our dining room window, but froze as he jogged past. I could see the fear in her eyes. "What's wrong?" I asked. "Just bad memories," she muttered. I needed to know if she knew the prophecy. For the first time, I recited the words out loud. As I spoke, her face turned pale, her hands trembling. "How the hell do you know those words?" she whispered. I didn't answer. My heart thundered as I looked out the window at Eerie. Was it all finally happening? The fire? The end? Or was it just another cruel reminder? And if it is real, what am I supposed to do?